Hi, and welcome to this chat about supporting your respiratory system with essential oils you may already have. Yay. If you already have some oils in your arsenal, I'm glad to hear it because everyone needs them. They're life-changing to me. And if you know me at all, you know sometimes I have to shoot videos from my bed space with noise going and kids slamming doors and you name it. That is the pace of life right now, but hopefully the information will still be good and beneficial for you. So we'll start off talking about oils for respiratory support. We'll talk about some substitutions for those, and then we'll talk about a plan of what to do with those oils specifically so that you'll know exactly what to do. A lot of people buy oils and literally never open the bottle. So if you're one of those people, let me know. It happens to the best of us. I think the important thing is to not become overwhelmed. And right now, with our global health crisis, it's more important than ever that we all be empowered for our own health and taking care of ourselves. You will not find me, however, making crazy claims about things that will cure. I even have to be careful how I say things to you about things that have worked well for me personally, because just because one person has a result doesn't mean another will. So we want to talk about the science base of it all and what we know to be true based on scientific studies that are published, health studies that are published. You will find me trying to go the most informative, transparent route with all of the oil info. And in case we've never met, I'm Jonesy Thompson, the Essential Oil Spy. I try to scope out the best uses for oils for your health and positivity. That's my jam. And I also have a big heart for those of us who are working parents and in the midst of that. So if you're a working parent, know that these are tools that can empower you, actually save you money. Even though oils are not free, they can ultimately save you money and also support your health in so many ways. So let's get started. I need to say right now, in case it's been a while since you've had anatomy, I'm a young whippersnapper, but it may have been a while since I took anatomy. So if you're in the same boat, we're going to talk about nasal cavity, airways, throat, lungs, trachea, all of it that's combined so that our body gets the oxygen it needs. It's important. And it affects so many people right now. If you didn't catch the previous video, I really hope you go back and watch it. It has some super important points about supporting your immune system with the oils you may already have, which is really the foundation. We're building on yesterday's foundation of immune, today respiratory, and if your only interest is respiratory, great, but I think you'll get really good benefit from the one before. So with that, quality matters, so we need to talk about that for a second. And also, why would you want to use essential oils to support your health? Because our genetic makeup as humans is so close to that of plants that actually the essential oil being the most potent part of a plant, the most beneficial part, and they've processed it in the most potent way possible, can actually cross the cell membrane into our cells, which even antibiotics are nearly incapable of, if at all. So we're talking about crossing the cell wall, healing from the most foundational way inside your body. And that is why quality matters, because there are mass retailers who will sell you a bottle of essential oil, and it may or may not, first of all, be essential oil. It could be adulterated, and there's no external monitoring of that because we are not FDA regulated in our industry. My company would welcome FDA regulation because we got no problem with how we're doing our things. It's completely pure. But there are many companies who are not so honest, first of all. And second of all, I liken it to, as I did in the previous video, I'm just going to reiterate one more time. If you want to make your beloved grandma's chocolate chip cookies that were your favorite of life, and it calls for chocolate chip or chocolate chunk, but you order your groceries and the person who comes back with your groceries brings you chocolate shavings, like crumbs of chocolate, is that cookie going to be supreme? No. Big thumbs down. It's not going to be what your grandma made at all. It might taste okay, but it's not a chocolate chip or a chocolate chunk cookie. And that's the same with essential oils. doTERRA makes sure that they are getting the most potent part of that, which means the first go round of distillation, steam distillation or cold press, whichever one it requires, it's going to do that in the way to preserve all the things that are volatile. They are volatile about a plant. That means they can disintegrate, their effects can disintegrate with heat and sun and other factors. So we want to protect that as much as possible. Other companies are getting leftovers from superior companies. They get the leftovers. They're like the chocolate shavings of the companies. Okay. So in some scenarios, I think many other essential oils are very similar to the effect of burning a non-toxic candle. Okay. Does it smell nice? Sure. But we're talking about wellness. We're talking about respiratory support. We're not talking about home fragrance. That's a whole other thing, although great, but it's not the purpose. The purpose is supporting our respiratory system. That's why it matters. That's why I have a little soapbox, and that's why I got to tell you that. So thanks for that. I just want to build that foundation. Along with that, because you can't run out to mass retailers and buy the highest quality essential oils, it is important to be prepared. So you're going to need to have some oils on hand when your family is in need of extra support and you don't have those oils there. There are many regrets that will follow. And I have been there. There have been times I have needed oils and I'm like, where is that? Oh no, I'm to the end of the bottle. I wasn't prepared. You do have to be prepared with it. And there are different components of oils that would help us with our respiratory system. I'm going to name off 3, and there are probably even more. But one is anti-allergenic, really important because we know things that create a histamine reaction definitely affect our respiratory system. So these are reducing allergic response. And again, based on scientific studies, thank you so much, Advanced Oil Magic, for listing it for us and citing everything so that we know this is legit. But these, like citral, nerol, geraniol, are all components of certain essential oils that will support our respiratory system. I'll name off some in a minute. Another is antitussive. Sounds like a cough syrup, doesn't it? For good reason. Again, studies that support and the components that will help. Like when you've, I'm sure, heard of before, menthol in peppermint. Okay, that is also super, super important. And there was one other, and I just lost it. Hold on, bear with me one moment. I had it a moment ago. Oh, I'm in trouble. Guys. We'll have to edit this part out. Decongestant. Yes. Yes, decongestant. Super important. There are 5 components that can make up what would be decongestant properties. It reduces congestion. It opens airways. Again, based on studies. So we're going to talk about oils that fall in those categories, and many of them in more than one of those categories. I won't confuse you by making you categorize or sort. Not down with that, but I'm just going to tell you some that are common in a kit you would have bought, or because you like the fragrance, you might already have it. Fragrance is really the wrong word. You like the smell. That's really what I mean, because we're not talking about synthetic fragrance. We're talking about smell. So all of the oils that we're going to talk about would be beneficial for diffusing. So aromatic use, this is my doTERRA diffuser. I am not exaggerating, been using it over 7 years very regularly, and it has still held up. They have updated versions of this, but you'll see me still using the oldie because 7 years and it's still going well. I have other diffusers, but none of them have lasted as long as that one, so I'm proud to say that. These are all be great for diffusing. Get ready for it, and if you want to take a note or two, do so. Peppermint. It's definitely a favorite because people like to do the palm inhale, put it in your palm and do the palm inhale, and that's really good in a pinch. It's a great aromatic way to use peppermint. By the way, my husband mopped with some peppermint oil in his vinegar and hot water mix this morning. Yes, it smelled very good. Spearmint, coriander, rosemary, citrus oils, particularly lime. Watch me try to not touch my face. It's not going to happen. Lime, lemon, orange. Those are the main ones that come up for respiratory, and cardamom is another type of oil that comes up. And all of those would be great to diffuse. Did I say eucalyptus? Because it's my favorite. I diffuse eucalyptus every night of my life, almost, because I need it for breathing, because respiratory support. So it's really important to me. Rosemary is another great one. Those are really, really great. And some people find that there's a trifecta for using peppermint, lavender, and lemon all together. They will use it in a capsule taken internally. You can oil pull it. You can most definitely diffuse it. And you can use it, you can make yourself a roller and use it topically. I like to do this and over the lungs, over my sinuses. It's really good for that. So I recommend doing that for your respiratory support. And there are some oils you might want to use internally. Let's talk about that. For example, gargling would be considered like an internal use. Taking a capsule or drinking it would also be an internal use. And oil, do I say it like Southern? Oil pulling is another way that we're going to consider internal, because it's going to be in our mucous membrane mouth. So all of those. And I want you to know this, it's super important that oils you consider using for any internal use whatsoever come with a nutrition label as well. Because, and so many people don't know this, they see things on Pinterest like, let me take this internally, and they don't know. But you have to read your labels, people. In my pre-doTERRA life, did I buy other brands of oils? Yes, I did. I wasn't very carefully reading these labels. This one's for topical use. Okay. This brand, aromatic use only for this one. This one, aromatic use only. This one, although not a major retailer brand, but it is for aromatic and topical use only. And those are the same oils that for doTERRA is able to be used internally. So it's so important that you do that and know that before you decide. We talked about the lemon, lavender, peppermint being one you could use internally. Many people might find relief. I'm not making a false claim here. Many people might find support for their throat by gargling cardamom and lime, a drop of each or two in their water. Gargle, gargle, gargle. And if you're brave enough, you could even swallow, and it will help. It will support all the way down. And that could be really helpful. Another way is the topical way. Have you heard old wives' tales talking about putting Vicks salve on the bottom of feet? No knock against Vicks. I'm pretty sure it's petroleum based, and I'm not sure where their source of eucalyptus is. However, it really is good to put eucalyptus oil on the soles of the feet, dilute it for children. It's really, really great. And putting any oils on the bottom of your feet is a great way to absorb it all the way. So it's amazing. It's a great place to do that from. So that's great. You can always put the oils topically, dilute them as needed, put it on the chest and over the sinus cavity. Again, dilute to safe levels. And that's so great. So let's say, for example, I only have in my stash one 15 milliliter bottle of rosemary, and that is one that's known for respiratory support. Here's our plan. What I recommend you do is use 30 to 40 drops for an adult, less for children, in your roller, and make yourself a roller. Fill the rest with a trusted carrier oil like fractionated coconut oil. And you can use this, again, over the chest, over the sinuses, on the bottoms of the feet. All recommended, even on the back over the lung area. Super, super great. You're going to, day and night, diffuse 6 to 10 drops of oil. You'll fill the rest with water till the fill line and diffuse those as you should. And then I would very easily recommend oil pulling and maybe gargling also with rosemary and water. And optional, this is something I feel like we should all do, you can make a pillow spray. So if you're having difficulty and you need respiratory support, make yourself a pillow spray with distilled water that helps it stay without yuckiness. that might breed in there. We want to keep it as sterile as possible. So use distilled water and your essential oil, several drops of essential oil, and you can mist your pillow. Doesn't that just sound relaxing already? So again, we talked about the need to be prepared. I hope you already have some of these in your stash. I would love and be honored to help you if you need any extras or any to begin or any of those. I'm here for you with that. Please direct message me here. You can direct message me on Instagram, and I would be so thrilled to help you. If you can subscribe to my channel, it would mean the world to me. I'm trying to continue to put out content that is really beneficial to you as an essential oil interested person, to you as a working parent who's juggling many things and wants to know how to do it efficiently. And I really, really appreciate your presence here today. Thanks so much. Bye.